The broadcast is live on Wednesday. It is 2 o'clock. We call it Wisdom Wednesday. We have an absolute amazing guest today. If you're new to the Greatest Salesman podcast, my name is Dan McCormick, the ambassador to the Augmandino Company. Could not be more thrilled to welcome you wherever you may be joining from today. If you're live with us today, we encourage you to comment, tell us who you are, where you're calling in from, where you're watching from. And if you happen to pick us up on a recorded broadcast, that's fine. You'll see it on YouTube. You'll see it on Facebook. Of course, it'll be on our website, thegreatestsalesman.com, thegreatestsalesman.com. You'll see all of our shows posted there. And so if you're going to see us 6 weeks, 6 months, or 6 years from now, we look forward to your comments. We look forward to your reviews. And we hope that we can serve you in a fantastic way. And Patty, you've got friends that are chiming in here. And I just so wish that I could speak the Spanish language and make everybody understand me. We've got Austria here. Certainly so very happy to have you here today. We've known each other now for, I believe, 10 years.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And we met in Newport Beach, California. She is Patricia Acosta. She is in that hot seat, I like to call it. She is in that seat that I call the greatest salesperson in the world. And it's that unbelievable philosophy for living that Augmandino wrote about that allowed me, oh, you've got the Spanish version. I love it. That is beautiful. Oh, that's so fantastic.
Oh, my life, yes.
Oh, you're going to share some wisdom with us today. Yes. So before we get started here today, I see Jim Hazelton's in the house. We've got Dora and Jenny and Fafita, so many fantastic people. It's going to be a thrill. And like I do every week, Patty, on this now our 23rd episode of the Greatest Salesman Show. And wow. Today, I just love, because we don't work together very closely anymore because you moved from Newport Beach back to your home country. So tell us, before we start, you're live today from Colombia. But tell us 3 things that you think have shaped your success in life and or each and every day of your life.
Perfect. Okay. I think one of the 3 things that I love and changed my life completely, first, was to dream big and visualize my success before I succeed. I think that's really important, like to keep the perfect picture always. Because, life, you have up and downs. And when you are down, you don't want nothing. But if you have your dreams clearly, and if you visualize those every day, and you repeat those every day, that's your gasoline for you every day. So I think that was one of the best. The second one, actually, it was one of the scrolls of Augmandino, which is, I will live this day as if it is the last one. Because I think sometimes we don't value how valuable is the time. And that's the only thing that we cannot recover. So I think to live the life, and it is the last one, is amazing. And that actually I learned from one of my mentors, to Alan Nagao, that has been here in the Greatest Salesman, because he always was happy since like he wake up, and I think I'm been putting that in practice, and I feel more happy because I feel grateful. So I think that's the other thing that has been important in my life. And in the third one is focus in my results and not in my excuses. What I want, not in my excuses. So every time that I want to do something, if I don't complete it or something, I find like, what is the excuse that I have, and I just focus in my results. I think it's really important because that has been helping me to accomplish all the goals that I want.
I love it. If we stop the podcast right here, I could just listen to that all day long. I so love that because you have a picture in your mind. I love the dream and the visualization. And I was reading something from Tony Robbins not long ago, is the person that has the ability to keep that state of mind strongest and clearest will always win. So thank you for sharing that. That is brilliant. I will live this day as if it is my last. Of course, I believe scroll number 5, right? I've got the cardstock file right here. Fantastic wisdom. We'll come back and talk about that a little bit more later. And of course, focus on the results, not the excuses. So many things that could distract people in the world, right? And so how, if I could come back with a question for you on that, what are some of the things that help you with the visualization in the picture? each and every day?
Perfect. I remember 11 years ago when I started, because, well, I'm a business administrator. I went to the university 5 years. After I went to study like marketing and business, I studied like 10 years in the university. But and I studied in the best universities. But honestly, no one told me, or I think I put attention, but no one told me about the personal development. So when I start getting to this world 11 years ago, one of the first things that the person that was helping me and this to get like to the point that I wanted to be, he asked me about my goals. And honestly, I was just focusing on my financial goals, because that it was the part of my life that I was missing. But he told me about the goals are not just in the financial side. I had to think in my physical goals, in my spiritual goals, in my relationship goals. So I saw, I was reading a book that they say that I had to do my dream board. So I started doing my dream board. And I think it's really important that you do that. And I will highly recommend it to you to do your dream board, especially now that this amazing year is ending and we're going to start a new year. The dream board is really important because that allows you to visualize what exactly you want. And that is going to help you to get out of your comfort zone. Because I learned that if we stay in the comfort zone, like those are not our real dreams. Our real dreams are outside of our comfort zone. So when I learned that, I started first try to visualize exactly what I want without thinking. Because if you think too much, like maybe you're gonna say, oh, how can I get the house in front of the beach, or like how can I get like some many investments that I can have more residual income. See, you start thinking, you're gonna stop your mind. So just dream as if you are like a little kid. So that's what I did. I decided to dream without thinking, because they say, Patty, you need to dream big. So honestly, when I was 15 years, I just want a house that is paid, because I didn't want to have like a house that I had to pay, Usually the ones that owns the house are the banks. No, I didn't want that. So at the 15 years, I just want a house that it was full pay, a car that is full pay, because I was born in Latin America, and here it's not easy to even have a car. So I just want that, a person that loves me. That was my dreams when my goals when I was like 15 years. But when they told me that, I decided to dream big. So I say, no, I don't want a house that is paid. I want 10 houses that are paid. I want travel around the world. At that point, I was just being in 2 countries, Colombia and United States. So I decided to dream big. And after, I decided to look for those dreams in magazines. And now I do like in Google or something. But at that point, I look for a lot of like pictures, and I did my dream board. And at the beginning, it looks like a completely lie at the beginning. It looks like nothing was true. Let me tell you, after 6 years, everything, even though the crazy dreams that I put there are 100% complete. So that's what I say, do your dream board, but it's not just do your dream board, you have to visualize that every day. Before you go to bed, as soon as you wake up, all the time, just visualize that, because that's your perfect picture, and that's your gasoline, ultimately. And that's your dreams are the ones that are going to help you to wake up every day, to have energy, and like you say, like Tony Robbins say that I love that, to keep a good state, to manage a good state, which is the most important, one of the most important things for me too.
Well, your fans love you. I mean, I'm just seeing the comments. Jenny says, excelente. I mean, Luisa and Susanna, everybody is just loving Medellin. We welcome you from Colombia. We're here every Wednesday at 2 o'clock, interviewing the greatest salespeople in the world that have experienced some degree of Og Mandino's incredible pearls of wisdom. And you mentioned that for your number 2 thing. with that particular scroll. And I wonder, because I don't know the answer to this, growing up speaking Spanish, when you read in Spanish, can you read and say English just that easily?
Kind of like at
Okay.
the
Well, the reason I'm asking is because when I look at Today I Begin a New Life, I wonder if you look at that scroll in your book that you held up and you think about where were you prior to your current, we've worked together in the New Skin Enterprises for years. And where were you before that? What kind of an eye-opening was this personal development? Because it says right there at the very beginning, not only today I begin a new life, but today I shed my old skin, which hath too long suffered the bruises of failure and the wounds of mediocrity. What was life like before those, the dream board coming true, if you will?
Yes, I think before I have this amazing book in my life that changed my life, completely changed my life. I think I already been reading like 5 or 7 times, and I was reading over the weekend again, and it's something that I just love it. For me, honestly, this is like the Bible of the self-development. It's incredible. Like all the scrolls are just gonna change your life and your family life, and that's why it's so important. Actually, Dan, I'm being giving to all the people that I know as a present this book because I'm thinking that I'm giving the best gift for them. So I will say that before that, my mind, it was no program for success. I was programmed for like what people do, like most of the people, like 95% of the people in the world doesn't have goals. They are just looking for something normal. They are not looking just for something extraordinary. As I say, especially in Latin America, because for some of you that live in the United States or in Europe, we are like third world countries, so the economy is not good. Like people here, when they are professionals, when they graduate from university, they just made they aspire to get just like $500 a month, after you go to the university 5 years. So it's really, our mind actually is in another state. So my parents, they give me a lot of love. They give me a lot of love, which is one of the most important things too. I love, that part of the scroll, because they give me a lot of love. And I think this is important, like that you have to have love for you, for your family, for all the things around you. And but my father used to tell me, Patty, that's for the rich people. Patty, we don't have money for that when I was little kid. So that was the things that it was like I heard when I was, when I was a little kid. So when I was 15, that I was telling you, I decided that my goals is going to be just like to have a house, to have a car, and we'll be okay. Because I was not around of abundance at that moment. I would say financial abundance.
Yeah.
So that's what I decided to study business administrator, because I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Because I say to myself, if I'm an entrepreneur, I think I'm going to be better. So I went to one of the best universities here in Colombia. And when I graduate, I thought, everything is going to be okay. But when I graduate, I have the new title of business administrator plus a big government loan, because I study with a loan government. So I had a huge debt. So when I started doing the interviews, the first things that they asked me if I speak English. If I speak English. So one of the things that I will tell you is, when you have a goal, you need to expect difficulties. And that's the good thing if you have the mentality to change any difficulty into an opportunity. And that was the best opportunity to decide to go to the United States. And I think a really important thing is the word decision. I decided that I will go and study English, even though at that moment, when I was 24, I didn't have money. I had a debt. I didn't know anybody in the United States. I didn't know a member of family that went to study to their country. But however, doesn't matter where you at right now. Doesn't matter where you are right now. You need to decide about what you want and about exactly the big dreams that you that you want. Because if you decide based on your conditions, it's not gonna be okay. So I decided that I will go to United States. And when I decided, as I say, when you decide, magic happens. Remember that when you decide, but decide is not like, well, I will do that. Like when you decided, that you feel inside of you, that you feel your energy, that you feel like, okay, I decided that I will go to the United States. And when I did that, my visa was approved. I find like $700. I went to the United States just with $700, and I didn't know anybody. But the other thing is like, when you already decide, when you already have your dream, your goal clear, you need to be willing to take action. That's really important. That's the other scroll. You need to act now. So you need to decide. Like I say, if I go to the United States and if I had to work in the morning, in the afternoon, I will do that. But I will complete my goal to study English. So I went to the United States and I had a job in the morning, I had a job in the afternoon, and then at night I was studying in a community college because I didn't have money to pay like a good university at that point. So I was an employee in the United States for 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Because I wanted to continue to study. So I studied marketing, I studied international business, I studied management, and I was so happy just studying business to open my own business. So after that, I opened my own business in real estate, and then I started having financial success. But when finally, after all these things that I went through, when I was having financial success, I was not happy. And why I was not happy? Because I was missing my family. I'm really close to my family, and the 7 of 7 kids. Wow. That's the other part. We are really, here in Latin America, the family, and of course around the world is really important. But we love to live close. We love. It's really important. So I was not happy, and then is when I asked for an opportunity to live close to my family. And 11 years ago, I found this amazing international business to be part of. And when I started this business, I thought I was already prepared because I went to the university and I knew how to do business and I was successful in business. But I realized only that I was missing all this personal development. I used to read books of business, but not about personal development. So 11 years ago, when I started discover this amazing world, I was just like, oh my God, like, it was a line on the sand. It was like a before and after, and when I was reading all the books of personal development, but especially books of Mandino, like you say, I realized many things. First, that I didn't have successful habits. Even though I thought I was successful, I didn't have successful habits. I decided that I find out that I was carrying my past a little bit. And when you carry your past, it's not good. You can carry the good things, but you cannot carry those bad things. So I decided that I will make a new story, and that's really important. You need to decide to create a story that you want. Because all of us, we had a story, but we are the masterpiece. Like we can create the new life. We are the authors. And to do that, when I start discover this amazing world, I was like, wow. It was like, for me, honestly, I feel like if I discovered life like 11 years ago. When I start reading all these books, and when I realize all the potential that all of us we have, and we just don't discover, because usually we don't have around people that helping us to be a better person. They just step in our dreams, or they are just want like a normal life. They don't want an extraordinary life. They don't want to go like a extra mile. they don't want to do an extra effort to have an amazing life. So I realized that I will be the average of the 5 people that I keep around me. And you know what? That's not the people that are just physically next to you. I realize these people is gonna be like Mandino book, like Alan Nagao is one of my biggest mentor. All mentors like Dan McCormick that I was listening to the millionaire phone call that Tony Robbins. I went to the trainings of Tony Robbins. So I decided that this will be my mentors, like Philly Shan, like all these people that is being successful. So it's really important that you decide who are you going to listen from. So honestly, sorry, because I went around the question, but honestly, I feel that I was born 10 years ago. Wow. So yeah, and it's been a new life. And I've been thinking now, for example, to all my nieces and nephews that now they are in high school and they are in university, all of them, they are reading 1 book per month. And I do, because I don't want that they wait. Like I had to wait until I was 35 years. When I was 35 years is when I found out this. And I think all people need to know about those amazing secrets, how you can discover the real potential that you have to be a leader that this world needs.
Well, I'm just soaking it in. I'm just taking notes. I'm just like, you are in this seat for a reason. You are the greatest salesperson in the world. You are the person today that sits in that chair, and I get to interview you and talk to you about how and why. And it's, as soon as you said the 3 things, it was like, I can see why. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you had millions of dollars in volume going through your organization now, thousands and thousands of people, new millionaires on your path, all because of your leadership. And of course, you give credit to your mentors and the books you read, and you came alive, I think you said 10 or 11 years ago, but you made a decision. And I wonder, when you look at your favorite scroll, you point out in your second thing here, I will live this day as if it is my last. It is really an interesting thing on how you can make each and every day count, and you can fill up the cup of others. And Og says, I will live this day as if it is my last. And what shall I do with this last day? And then he says, which remains in my keeping? First, I'll seal it up in a container of life so that not one drop spills. And so why that scroll for you? How did you select? You quoted scroll number 9, I will act now. But what about this scroll that is so specific to your vision, if you will?
Because I realize in life, sometimes we don't value our time. We think that we are going to be forever, that we have like an insurance, that like insurance, but we don't know when it's going to be our last day. And we think, like we are going to be like 8, hopefully we get to the 80s, 90s, but honestly, the time, as I say, is the most valuable thing that we have, and it's the only resource that we cannot recover. So I learned first that I was just like missing a lot of things during the day. So now I decided to leave that part of the scroll to be grateful about everything, because I realize sometimes we read, we go to the conference, we listen to those motivation. Oh, we know a lot, but it's not about just knowledge. It's about putting practice. That's the most important thing, putting practice. So I realized as soon as I wake up, I say, thank you for these amazing days. And I decided to say thanks at least for 30 things, even though for the bed that I wake, even though for the bed that I am, for my pillow that I love. Why? Because it's so many people around the world that doesn't even have a bed, Actually, I love to help. That's one of my passions. So we are helping like more than 2,500 kids here in our country to feed, we've been taking together, like with the team and with our amazing company, this to the Latin America. And when I go and visit those kids, they don't have beds where they can sleep. They don't have a house. They don't have a floor. Believe me, they don't have a restroom where to go and do their necessities or take a shower. It's incredible. So when you go there, you really start appreciating what you have. So what I do as soon as I wake up is being grateful about everything that I can see around, even though the water, like the food.
Love it. Oh.
And I realize if I'm grateful for everything that I have in my life, like Tony Robbins says, change your expectations for appreciation. Because a lot of people say, oh, when I have that, I'm going to be happy. When I have that, I'm going to be happy. And then when you are there, you want another big thing. So I think that has been helping me to live every day as is, and it is the last one. And reading the book, when they say change, when we are little kids, we are slave of our like emotions, and sometimes we have emotions here, we have emotions here. Yeah. We are slave of our, I forgot the word that is said there, but it's
habits.
Yeah, but we are slave. We have to be a slave of our habits, our successful habits. But sometimes we are slave of our. If one day we are okay, so we remember our dreams. But if one day we are not okay, we don't want anymore our dreams. So I realized if I want to be successful is
Whoops, Patty froze on my end just for a minute. Let's get Patty back here. There you are. You're back. Are you back? We lost Patty for a minute. She froze. She's in the middle of giving us so much amazing wisdom. I hope I'm not the one that froze. Maybe my producer can just text me and tell me who's frozen and who's not. Hopefully we can get Patty back here. Are you there, Patty? Commercial break. It's time for a commercial break while we get Patty back. Of course, it's the Augmandino Company. I'm Dan McCormick. She's Patty Acosta. She's back. Okay, we got you back. You froze for a minute. Yeah, you scared me there for a minute because you have so much good going on. My friend Stephen McNeil says, you're good, Dan. So if you're new with us, I just want to share with everybody at the Augmandino Company, what we try to do is give away value. And we know that the Augmandino Company has an assessment for you. It's something that's going to challenge your brain. It's a little bit funky. It's going to really challenge your brain. It's a little bit odd, but it's going to scientifically and mathematically just nail you perfectly. And if you will go to habitfinder.com/podcast, you'll get this $199 value for free today on behalf of the Augmandino Company. Hopefully you already have the book. Maybe you have the journalized version, which is the greatest secret in the world. And you can see that right over my shoulder here. I got my whole Augmandino collection right over my shoulder there. And it is just an awesome thing. So if you've joined us late, my name is Dan McCormick. She is Patty Acosta, live from Colombia today. And it is just such a joy to have her. I'm looking at my notes, Patty, and you have given us so much. It's like, I feel like I could write a book on what you've taught through example. And I love when people share that personal example of what you had to fight for and what you had to train the mind to become and how you decided and how you hold the vision and all of these things. And I really love how you validated this scroll. I will live this day as if it is my last, because Og says, I will not waste a moment. And it sounds to me like you're very good now at time management and visualization and all of these things. So are you someone that has like a schedule? Do you write things down? You're pretty organized in that way?
Yes, as I say that, after I was reading the book and I learned this big lesson that we don't have to waste any time because time is gold. Honestly, I have to tell you that I was not organized before. I used to lose a lot of time, but now and really had a clear agenda, like of my hobbies that I do in the morning. I wake up early in the morning. I love to do that because I realize that I can be more effective, and I can enjoy more the day. So I had a really clear agenda now. What I do my first hour, and actually my first hour is for me. Is for development. So the first thing that I do, as I say, is being grateful. I do exercise 20 minutes. I read my first 20 minutes of the book that I'm reading at that moment of self-development. And after I meditate, there is what I visualize my next dream board that I'm working, my next dreams that I'm doing. I repeat my goals every day in the morning. And after that, I have my breakfast, but I connect with my breakfast. I connect with the food. I am grateful with the food that I'm having, and actually not just grateful, I'm tasting it. I'm feeling, because sometimes we are just eating and we just forget even about that, because it became a bad habit not to appreciate what we have. So I and if I'm with my family, I connect with them. It's different to be with them, to connect with them. So if I'm with my parents, I have the bless to have my parents that are 88 and 82. So I had fun with them and listen with their stories, and we have a time for breakfast, and it's not just a running breakfast. No, we have 1 hour, and after that, I have blocks of my time. So I have like something at 9, something at 10, something at 11, something at 12. I had my lunch schedule because before I used to eat just when I was hungry, and that's not okay. So I had the lunch time, and I have time for me, and I have time for my family. I have time for my team, and now I feel that I'm living a happier life, because I'm not just focused in my financial goals. I focus in my physical goals. I focus how powerful I want to have my mind, like to be even more powerful every day. But more than that, being happy. That's the most important thing. Being happy wherever what you are doing. Just be happy every day. So I love when I went to the other scroll that says smile every day. I like to, as I say, as soon as I wake up, I have a smile in my face, and I just smile every day. And you know what? There are things that happen in life. We lose things. The life is not like that, but it's a decision to be happy. I decided that doesn't matter what happened. Doesn't matter what happened. You need to be happy, because anyway, in life we can lose even the family members. One of my biggest fears, I have to confess to you, was to lose my parents, because I'm so close to my parents.
Wow.
But I decided to have time with them. And for that, I worked so hard that now I'm so blessed to be close to my family. But as I say, it's not just to be with them, it's to connect with them. Connection is so important. So, and now I'm giving my best. That if something happened to them, believe me, I will be happy. Why? Because I had the opportunity to be with them, to connect with them, to tell them all the time that I love them. Love the people that are around you. Just have them with connection. Tell them, I love you. I love you. This is so important. Love is one of the strongest force in the world. So I learned that to love others, you need to love yourself. And that's one of the things that I realized too, Dan, because even though I'm always been a person that I've been working, I was a really good student in my university, I tried to do the best, I realized that I was not loving myself. I always criticize myself, because usually the leaders criticize themselves. Why? Because for us, sometimes it's not enough. It's not enough. So at the end of the day, it's not enough. I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that. And I was not happy. So I decided to start loving myself, to say, good job, Patty. And since that day, when I started loving myself, I realized that I was able to connect more. And that's one of the things the book say too. If you love yourself, you can start loving others. So basically, Honestly, Dan, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for 11 years to have this amazing book that changed my life completely. And we should, and come with me, you should do a big campaign because I want everybody to read this book. And as the book says, it's not just for the salespeople. Because only when I heard the title at the beginning, I was like, oh, this is just for salespeople. No, I think every human being needs to read this book, because this book is going to help you to live the life to the fullest, to live every minute of your life.
Oh man, you have so, I mean, and I don't do this, but if we were to turn on the news right now and listen to the world, what a different view we get from Patty Acosta. Can I nominate you as the Chief Visionary Officer for the World Happy Program, the World Energy Program? I mean, you are so good. I just love you.
Of course.
I'm so happy for your team. I mean, everybody's just so happy that you're their friend and you're their coach and you're their mentor and you're their business partner. I mean, you just have a great radiance about you. And I think I just want to close with this because, you've mentioned many times how you read the books and you have maybe the book of the month that you're doing with your team. But I get a sense that if you'll open up your book, I get a sense that you don't just read your book, you study your book. Yes. And so you said you've read it maybe 5 or 7 times and you're rereading it over the weekend before. Anything new that kind of popped into your mind maybe as I asked you to prepare for this today? Was there something new, a different angle to see something? It's just beautiful.
Yeah, one of the things, as I say, that I realize is, and I'm telling my team is, you read the book, you highlight, and you do another resume, and you read the resume, and you highlight, and what are the things that you are going to keep in your mind all the time? Because sometimes we read and we forget. And honestly, when I was reading the book over the weekend, of course, I remember all the scrolls of the titles, but I realized that I was remember myself some themes that I already forget. So that's what I say. To me, this is like the Bible of the self development, because if people will, and I will put in my Instagram today, if people will put in practice those 10 scrolls, believe me, you will find all the success that you want. You will complete all the dreams that you want. You will be happy, which is the most important thing. But the most important thing, you are going to leave a legacy. Yeah. And that's why we're here, to inspire others to do the same, to inspire many people that they can accomplish, they can accomplish other dreams. Today, in the house of my sister. She is now in the top of the company too. I came here to look for the new apartment, and here she has the dream board. And now all my nieces, my nephews, my team, they are doing that. And that's amazing, because ultimately we are here to leave a legacy to the world. But we don't have to wait until we die to do that. We need to do that now. We need to be an inspiration now, because the power of duplication is incredible. So I just want to say that I'm so grateful. Dan, thank you so much for calling me. I was so excited. I couldn't believe it, because I was telling my husband, I carry all the time this book with me, because I always wanted to read again and remind myself about how important is all these lessons. And as I say, this is the best gift that you can give to others. But tell them, I say that is no coincidence in life, but my sister in the book club, like 1 week ago, she said, Patty, with their team, they are reading this book. And I was so excited to do that. Say, confidentially, I'm going to be speaking for the Ogmandino, the Greatest Salesman. And I just can be like grateful with Ogmandino and with you, Dan, and with all the people that is doing this, because it's incredible. I just wanted to find out a way that we can translate to Spanish, because believe me, we will have here like 2,000 people. Yeah. All the people that speak is, but I don't know, we can find out a way to speak Spanish, and hopefully we can have you conference and all the things, because I know all the people can do to learn more about themselves, to grow is just incredible. Is worth it. Yeah. Remember, it's worth it. The life that I have right now, like Dan say, Patty, how was your life 11 years ago? And now I just live in a state of gratefulness, like incredible, because I just can't believe all the things that I have now, and more than material things is the person that I am today, that I'm in the process of growing, because we never stop. We never like stop growing. We need to grow every day. We need to grow like 1% a day, and that's where we find, because the happiness is equal of the growing part that we are having. If we stay, we are not happy anymore. We are again in that stage of being in our comfort zone. So I just wanted to encourage everybody to be in all this show, to learn from so many people. That is, I think it's every Wednesday, to be here, not just to read the book, to study the book. Yeah. Just say the perfect words. So Dan, thank you so much. For me, it's been an honor to be here.
Oh, obviously, it's an honor for me. I just love filling up my journal every week with notes. I get to go back and listen. And you said some really great things, and I won't try to add to what you closed with because it was so beautiful. But you talked about how it was kind of your Bible, a Bible, and Og was a fan of the Bible. He actually listed the Bible with his top 10 favorite books of all time. He was a great man of principle. He was a great writer. He had a philosophy for living that you can see has found its way and seeped into your life, and you embody it beautifully. And forever in the history of time now, you will be found in the Ogmandino podcast of the great. You've just been such a delight and transformation. You can see what Andres is saying, and Trisha and Stefan and Steven, and so many beautiful comments. And so once again, if you're new with us on the podcast, we'll encourage you to take the assessment. Measure your thoughts. See if you can get them a little more aligned, not just reading the words, studying the assessment, asking how you can be more effective in every area of your life. Cannot thank you enough. I wish everybody the happiest and the healthiest holiday season. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Can't wait to see you again soon here in America, perhaps. And congratulations and thanks for your contribution to the show today.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks to you. We can't wait to have you here again in Colombia.
All right, everybody. She's Patty Acosta. If you want to reach out to her, you can find her on Facebook, Patty Acosta, Acosta. And I'm Dan McCormick, and we look forward to sharing the journey with you. All the best. Congratulations again.
Thank you. All the love and all the blessings to everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.